Good Monday morning, everyone. It's time for your Monday blessing. Last week we started a new series called Picture It, and I began to talk about the problem of self-pity and just how that we're to be victors. And we looked at the toxic, kind of unattractive, sad selfie or picture that permeates our life when we get into self-pity and how to change that to a victorious God picture. And today I want to give you the wise words of my spiritual mother. We call her Mother Dee Dee. And she's gone through so much in her life and been victorious and really showed us how to walk that out. But she said, in seasons of pain, you must ask God to give you a picture of what is on the other side and focus on that. It's important to know that God doesn't waste a minute of your pain, but turns it into something beautiful. One day I was having a conversation with the Lord, and I actually had a vision, and in the vision I saw someone painting a picture, and they were shading around this beautiful flower. And I asked the Lord, I said, what are you trying to show me, Lord? And he said, I'm trying to show you that shadows add depth to my masterpiece. And, it's just like that in life. Without shading and some dark strokes, our picture is only one-dimensional. And with that shading comes depth. And with the darkness, sometimes it feels like nothing beautiful is ever going to come from our life. But I want you to know something, that God is always doing something beautiful with our life, even in the dark seasons. And David said this in Psalm 23:4. He said, yes, though I walk through the deep, sunless valley of the shadow of death, I will fear or dread no evil, for you are with me. Your rod is protecting me. Your staff is there to guide and to comfort me. And so many times when we're going through a difficult season, a dark season, it's so easy for us to give in to self-pity and to lose our God picture, the vision of what God has for us ahead. And it will feel like someone turned off the lights, but I want you to know something. God is near. He hasn't left you, and He's leading you. It's your job, though, to walk on. God doesn't do our walking for us. We do that. And it's important not to make our residence in the deep, dark, sunless valley, but to know that we will go through it and that God's there to lead us through it. And what happens when we get stuck in self-pity is that we get stuck in the valley of the shadow of death longer than we should. And I realize it's hard. Sometimes there's a death to a dream. There's the death of a relationship. There's a death of something other than just physical death that happens in our life, and it can throw us into a tailspin. But be careful that you don't lose your God picture in seasons like that. Here's some of my favorite self-pity quotes. Self-pity, personal withdrawal, or deep despair will not bring the peace, the assurance, or help which are needed. Rather, we must go forward, look upward, move onward, and rise heavenward. That's Thomas S. Monson. And then, of course, I quoted Joyce Meyer last week. She said, you can be pitiful or powerful, but you can't be both at the same time. And this one is unknown. Self-pity will keep you immobilized so that your future is no different than your past. Here's another one. Self-pity imprisons us in the walls of our own self-absorption. The whole world shrinks down to the size of our problem, and the more we dwell on it, the smaller we are, and the larger the problem seems to grow. Awareness of others is a healthy antidote to this self-focus. That's Kevin Milasky. Here's the bottom line. Self-pity gets us nowhere. It's satanic, as Oswald Chambers said last week. It opens the door to dark spirits, and it's the very epitome of pride and selfishness. And these are Satan's main characteristics. Satan wants us to be on a dead-end road thinking about ourselves. And that's what self-pity really is. It's a dead-end road. And you're either going to park there and destroy the God picture that He has for your life, or you're going to do a U-turn and you're going to walk out with God, and He's going to lead you into everything that He has for you. And, here is the perfect way to take a sad selfie and be miserable. Think about yourself. Talk about yourself. Use I as often as possible. Mirror yourself continually in the opinion of others. Listen greedily to what others have to say about you. Expect to be appreciated and have a pity party when you're not. Be suspicious, be jealous and envious. Be sensitive to slights. Be offended. Never forgive. Always accept criticism. Trust nobody but yourself. Insist on consideration and respect when your behavior doesn't warrant it. Demand agreement with your own views on everything all the time. Sulk if people are not grateful for you or the favors that you've shown. Never forget a service you have rendered and remind everyone of it. Expect things and get mad when you don't get what you expect. Always need to be having a good time and engage in self-destructive behaviors that hurt you and others in order to have a so-called good time. Shirk your duties if you can. Do as little as possible for others. Always need to be powerful and in control of everybody else. Be manipulative. Be angry. Be controlling. Blame everyone for your misery that you created. Be selfish. This is supposed to be a Monday blessing. Listen, this is important. I see so many people destroy the God picture that He has for their life because they get stuck in those kinds of behavior. And all that leads to feeling sorry for ourselves. It leads us down a path of death to our God picture. And we can no longer see what He has for us. Listen, Dale Carnegie says this: feeling sorry for yourself in your present condition is not only a waste of energy, but it's the worst habit you could possibly have. So how do we get out of that? Humility restores our God picture. It opens our eyes to the truth. Where pride has kept us blind, humility opens our eyes. Humility shuts the door to the devil and his lies, and it causes him to no longer steal the picture of who God says we are. Pride opens the door, humility shuts it. Listen, let's not be pitiful. Let's not be prideful. And the only way we can do that is by being humble, by being honest with ourselves, by changing our focus from self to God and to others. God has an amazing picture for your life, but you can't see it if you're in pride. So put that pride down, reel that ego in, look at God, and begin to look at others. And you will see the God picture that He has for your life. I love you all, and I bless you with joy. I bless you with encouragement. I bless you to get up out of a place if you have been stuck and move forward in Jesus' mighty name. I'll see you next week.
It's like you're looking through a telescope. You see where you're gonna be. Growing, getting better. You're not the person they see. Can't be mad at the things you've been through, 'cause they built your muscle. Now you're stronger than you've